Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ, you're here on the home of the Slightly Above Average Ship Review. We are on North in a domination match. We are down tier. We are in the recent campaign ship, the Jager. It is a destroyer that was designed around 1917, never built because World War I ended and the Austro-Hungarian Empire collapsed. I personally have a problem with a ship of this design year, like the Constellation, being at this tier, fighting very late war, or maybe even quasi after the warships. I have a big problem with that. As people who've watched my channel for a long time know, it's just not realistic for a ship that's designed 30 years before a newer ship with newer technology. And technology makes huge leaps in war. I just don't think that's realistic at all. All right, we're moving out. We spotted an Jager, the only cruiser in the game. We're going to launch some torpedoes his way. The Jager, much like the tech tree destroyers, heavy on low damage, quick reloading torpedoes, low on everything else. Good concealment, pretty good speed and maneuverability, but really terrible main battery damage, really terrible torpedo punching power, and really terrible AA. Because when they designed this thing, basically, I mean, when I read you the notes, the design notes, it's going to make you laugh. All right, torpedoes into the mist. Jager looks to have dodged most of them. There's a destroyer over there, obviously, because the Jager can't create its own smokescreen. I guess the Jager dodged all my torpedoes. So I'm getting ready to exit stage left here. My teammates promptly went to the Charlie Cap, so I'm all alone in here. And I got to tell you, in my opinion, this destroyer doesn't really work well if you are the only good player in your team, or you can't solo carry, in my opinion, in this destroyer very well, simply because the torpedoes don't do a whole lot of damage. All right, Jager maneuvering towards the cap. I guess we scared him with the torpedo there. More torpedoes headed his way. I am not going to use my torpedo reload booster right now. And we get another torpedo strike. Looks like he went dead in the water. While we're maneuvering around the island, I'll read you those notes about the AA. It said the committee regarded the German 10.5 centimeter and even the Austrian 9 centimeter guns as too slow, as it took the 9 centimeter piece 60 seconds to swing 360 degrees. Space considerations also pointed to the smaller 6.6 centimeter weapons, best suited for destroyers as it could move 360 degrees in 21 seconds. The committee also considered the AA guns were provided simply to force enemy aircraft to stay at higher altitudes, make their attack more difficult, meanwhile giving the ship's crew a better sense of security by their presence. So when you see the lackluster AA, know that it was just to fool the crew into thinking they did not have to worry about airplanes, which at the time probably was true. But obviously, if this thing, like in this match, there's a carrier in here, he should have immediately searched me out and killed me. Big mistake on his part. All right, we torped out. There is the enemy destroyer. We are spotted. I'm just going to haphazardly throw the second set of torpedoes out there. We did get a torpedo strike on Jager, and even though I'm firing AP because I'm a moron, in 2 or 3 salvos, the Jager will cease to exist. Oh, my teammates are like, hey, support that guy. No one is around here because you guys all left me. Anyway, we did get the first kill. Oodles of torpedoes in the water. Oodles of noodles. Yeah, this thing can vend out a lot of torpedoes. Got another torpedo strike already engaged our epic mod. And we've got an Awami pushing in along with the Jager. So I'm just hoping to get another quick reload here and be able to spam out some more torpedoes. While we're doing that, I want to tell you the damage record pending on WoW's builds, 259,000 and change. Base XP record, 4,100, also pending on this ship. I think the guy who got a lot of the damage records plays on the Asian server, where I think there are a lot of really unskilled players. So I always take an Asian server record with a little bit of grain of salt, because I just don't think those guys know what they're doing. All right, couple more torpedo strikes on the Iwami. As you can see, I mean, this is like getting bitten by a mosquito. Or better yet, how about a chicken? You know, there was a lady who was pecked to death by a chicken. She had like a varicose vein or something on her leg. The chicken pecked the vein when it moved, and she bled out in her barnyard. So, in theory, a chicken can kill a human being. So, in the same vein, I can peck away at the Iwami with my torpedoes, but an individual torpedo isn't going to be anything other than an annoyance unless it starts to flood, and he just happened to burn his damage con. There was another match I was in with this ship. Really terrible team behind me. Not that I'm that great or anything, but they were terrible. And as you can see, as we're shooting out some more torpedoes, I got 12 torpedo strikes and 3 solo base caps, and our team absolutely lost that game. And I think I did about 40,000 damage. So there are games where you're going to get a lot of torpedo strikes in this thing, and you just aren't going to do a lot of damage. All right, here we get one on the Jager and one on the Iwami, I believe. And I'm just maintaining my distance right now. There is another destroyer on the enemy team. I just don't know where he's at. Maybe he saw me kill the Cadro and was terrified into running into the back of the map. I just don't know. Looking at the scoreboard, although the red team has a couple of caps to our 1 cap, it has been a Pyrrhic effort so far because they have lost 4 ships while we have only lost 2. That's what Pyrrhic means. It means you're winning, but you paid a really heavy price to be winning. All right, more torpedoes out at the Iwami. I hate to say it, Mr. Iwami. These torpedoes are just too fast for you to get out of the way. They go 90 knots, folks. These are screamer torps. Even though they're very visible, akin to Japanese torpedoes in terms of visibility, they're just too fast, and there are too many. And so we're mosquito, we're out there biting, and we're going to take out the Iwami, picking away with our oodles of torpedoes. All right, we spot one of the enemy battleships coming in close, but I'm more concerned about the Jager. I'm going to hit my reload booster and get prepared to torp dump over here. And I guess a good thing I didn't dump them all because he gets evapped. So instead, when they traverse over to this side of the ship, I'm going to send one at, I think that's Lepanto, and the other at Maine. And I'm just going to go back into Bravo and try to flip Bravo around. Again, don't know where that enemy destroyer is at. So I'm going to presume he's over here with these ships. And we're going to hit my speed boost so I can get out of their way. While we're doing that, and we're waiting for our torpedo reload, I got a stat comparison for you guys. We are comparing max speed, effective hit points, HE DPM, torp damage, and max AA DPS. All right, at the tier, max speed, Palomilio number 1, 36.5 knots. Jager is probably around 10th at 39 knots. Okay, I guess I didn't sort that the right way. All right, Palomilio, 45.5. Jager's about 6th with 39. Effective hit points, Tashkent, number 1, 27,520. Jager is about 6, 20,325. HE DPM, Jager is about 7 or 8 from the bottom, not even cracking 100,000. Torp damage, Jager is last. AA DPS, Jager is second to last, just above Udachi. All right. The Lepanto is over here still. Lepanto, the pants. We are going to back up and torp out at the pants. I know the enemy destroyer is lurking nearby, But getting these torps out on the pants is more important. Here come the enemy's torpedoes. I accept them. All right, we are dead. Let's go into torpedo cam. Isn't that cute? The pants put up his rolling smoke. That will not save you, pants. You are getting poked full of holes right now. 9 torpedo strikes. It's just a flesh wound. Kill number 3 on Lepanto. All right, while my teammates are busy cleaning this up, I will go into wiki.wargaming.net to tell you AP and HE shell velocity 880 meters per second, max dispersion 85 meters, and the shell weight 45.5 kilos. I think that's something like 99 pounds or something like that in English. So I don't convert kilos to pounds very much since I got out of dealing cocaine, so I can't help anybody with that. But I'm just kidding. I don't like cocaine. I just enjoy the way it smells. All right. None of that is true, by the way. So here in a minute, my team is going to wrap this up. The aircraft carrier, actually, believe it or not, is going to take this thing out. So who's going to like the Jager? Well, I think people who aren't very comfortable getting into gunfights are going to love the Jager. So it's going to be very popular among a certain section of the players of this game who don't like confrontation because it only has 3 guns and it has really terrible AA DPS. It can be victimized and taken out easily by carriers, in my opinion, especially British carriers. And other than that, if you love torpedoes, it's good, but you've got to get enough torpedo strikes to take out the enemy or get lucky and start floods because, like I said, you can get a lot of torpedo strikes and end up not doing a whole lot of damage depending on torpedo damage reduction, where on the ship they hit, that kind of nonsense. All right, here on the victory screen, just a flesh wound medal, 137,209 total damage, 25 torpedo strikes, 3 big kills, 4 cap defended flags, and a solo base cap. Yowza, 942,270 silver, over 14,000 ship XP, over 3,800 green XP, almost 25,000 commander XP in the Jager. So I think we all know this was an extremely productive match. Here we are at the top of the board, 1 medal, 3 big kills, 3379 base XP. Actually, I was hoping it was a little higher with all those gaudy numbers on the result screen. And we did this all with one player who I don't think moved from the spawn point. I don't think that Yugumo did anything at all in the match as opposed to just quit early. Because I think he was back there on the minimap beyond the C cap the entire time. All right, so even playing handicapped, we tore it up. We were down tier, we tore it up in this match. All right, here in the port, taking a look at the upgrades. Aiming system mod 1. Propulsion mod 2. Concealment system mod 1. And we have a special announcement from Wargaming. Hey, if you want to waste your money on idiotic shit, go to the store. All right, Torpedo Launcher mod 3, epic mod. And I think you definitely need to run that. Loadout, 2 charges of the engine boost, 2 charges of the repair party, 2 charges of the torpedo reload booster. We got all the epic flags here. Ship, commander, XP, global XP, credit booster, the rare battle booster for movement speed and cooldown time. The Type 9 permanent camouflage and the Jager, is that a flugelhorn? The Jager flag. All right, 15,900 hit points with our build. We got those 3 150 millimeter guns, 10.5 kilometer firing range, 4.4 second reload, 18 second turn time, 2,200 HE shell max damage with an 11% fire chance, 2950 AP shell max damage. You know, and this number's good, 35, but I think you make your money here with the torpedoes. 4 triple tube launchers, reload in just over a minute, max damage just 77, looks like 68, 48, 77, 48. 12-kilometer range at 90 knots. They are screamers. Detectability 1900 meters for those fish. AA defense, we talked about the guns here. I don't think those guns are the guns I told you about. I don't know what to say. I think those 70 millimeter guns are supposed to be those 6.6 centimeter guns, and I don't know the metric system enough to say if they are or not. All right, maneuverability 42.6 knots, 670 meter turning circle, 3.7 second rudder shift time, concealment 5.1 on the surface, 2.6 from the air, 2.9 when firing from a smoke screen you do not have. Here on the stat screen, we've won 70% of our 10 games. Main battery accuracy 50%, that's pretty nice, but I shoot that very close range. Torpedo accuracy 13%, that's not great, considering the speed that the torpedoes go. 1.5 kill death ratio, and the highest battle achievements are pretty much all from that battle you just saw. Last game is the best game, and that's why you get to see it. All right, here's our commander, Stig Hansen Eriksson. It is the commander I recommend for this ship. Base trait slightly reduces the engine boost cooldown time, slightly increases torpedo damage. We went old school with Bay and Swirsky for concealment, and they're both fully maxed. Row 1, subsurface venture. Row 2, look at me now. Row 3, perceptive. Row 4, destroy or be destroyed. And our ledger skill is unstoppable. Quick note about the row 4 skills. If I had this commander maxed, maybe I would use sheltered arms because it would offset the fragility penalty you take for the epic mod for torpedoes. But for right now, speed makes up for not having a smoke screen, so that's why I went with destroy or be destroyed. Your mileage may vary on that stuff right there. All right, so that is the Jager. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time, everybody. Have a great weekend. Quick note, probably will not continue Anno on the weekends. I'll see you next time, folks.